Any other questions?
So Hannah, we went to Wegmans today to get the cheeses, and the first three cheeses were pretty straightforward for them, but then the fourth one was a little bit more of a curveball. And so what they thought was the blue Stilton cheese and the rustic red English cheddar would
And have them
be
together.
eat them together, and that would be the fourth cheese. Do you agree with that?
I think the Stilton by itself would have been quite comparable, but for the color element on your cheese board, I'm glad is it the red Leicester cheddar? Is it I don't know.
It doesn't have a name. It just says
Red rustic.
red rustic
from the
cheddar, UK.
Okay, I mean, I think so, because I don't know if I would try them in the same bite, but Stilton is definitely the same kind of basic cheese. A lot of the producers that make the Shropshire Blue started out by making Stilton, still make Stilton, sell more Stilton. So it is kind of an atypical cheese that I did choose because I was using Feast, but it definitely is probably not the easiest cheese to find. I don't have any in my cheese shop here. I do have Stilton, but I don't have any Shropshire. But it's essentially minus the annetto, a very similar cheese to Stilton. But I'm happy of an orange cheese as well because that's awesome, and I hope it tasted well, tasted good. Any English cheddar is just a fantastic product. So this way you get to taste more cheeses.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
It's definitely an added bonus.
I have a question, Hannah.
Yeah.
What's the Mimolette cheese? That's orange, right?
Yes, that's the one that if you go to a local cheesemonger, they probably carved it into a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. It's an orange, it's a cheese that's a cross between a cheddar and a Gouda. It's resemblant to the Edam cheese, and it's actually a big ball that's like a cantaloupe size, super orange inside because of the added either annatto or roku is what we call it here. And the rind is made by cheese mites. So they're still there when you buy it. And they kind of nibble at it to create that kind of dusty brown rind. And depending on the age, it's super strong and kind of crunchy and crystallized. But I do believe that they do use a similar colorant.
Did we use that cheese in the first one or no? We haven't done it yet. Yet.
But it's a great Halloween cheese.
Out of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of crunchy, from the cheeses from the last episode, I don't know which one it was, but one of them has a lot of like salty crystals still in it, and we still have two of those cheeses. Are those cheeses still edible, or should we just throw them away?
Yeah, if they're not the Roquefort, so they're the hard cheeses, I presume, they're definitely fine. As soon as a cheese is kind of aged more than 3 or 4 months, especially if it's cow's milk, another couple weeks won't hurt it. Just keep it in like a cheese paper or wax paper, and then in like a Tupperware container on the lower part of your fridge so that it can continue to breathe, but definitely doesn't get any kind of outside mold from other products in your fridge. And then if you find yourself with a lot of cheese, as you know, often I do, it's great for quiche or for frittata, especially those kind of cheese. Comté is great. You can definitely like shred it. You can cook with it. Marbier is a great melting cheese. You could do like a raclette style dish. You could put it in grilled cheese. It's really great with bacon jam. I definitely have done that one before on a sandwich. But definitely hard cheeses that keep a little bit longer, or even small goat cheeses. And without kind of the apparition of a really weird looking mold, they're edible. You can scrape off just like regular kind of bluish or whitish mold, and you can still eat them. There really isn't too much harm. It's the fresh cheeses like Brie or even some blue cheeses that after a while they'll kind of get like a purplish or like a brownish kind of coloration, and that's when they've kind of turned. But hard cheeses, feel free to scrape it off, cut around it, and then integrate them in any kind of like cooking dishes or just eat them.
So what you're saying is some of the purple mold could be the cure to COVID, is what you're telling me?
It might be. It would definitely give you different symptoms. It would make you feel differently than I think if you had regular COVID. depending on the mold, but you should definitely float that to the CDC and see what they think, because they're not a fan of mold. So maybe if you can convince them that, you know, the mold on European cheeses is good for us, we can bring in some more raw milk cheeses.
We'll work on that.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions or comments, or we'll wrap it up if not? Nothing else? All right. Well, we don't have anything else planned as of yet, but, you know, we'll get the brain trust together, Ivy, Hannah, and myself, and we'll think of our next event.
Yes, thank you guys so much for joining us on this 3-part series. It was really fun to answer your questions and see kind of, you know, what you guys are thinking about and how you're appreciating these. And don't hesitate to either reach out to myself or to Ivy and, you know, or my father and ask questions about more pairings. I think I can speak for all of us that we're, you know, we're always happy to help you find new ways to enjoy our wines. So for sure, we're usually around, so don't hesitate.
We never get out your you know, your contact everyone, so when they're in the store and they have you know, cheese emergency, they need to get.
I did. I posted actually in the chat my cheese Instagram. So if you would like to follow along on my cheese adventures, it's mostly just cheese boards. It's some farmer contact info, you know, it's some farm visits that I've done, but just a lot of just cheeses that I'm eating. It's una piccola pecora. It means a little sheep in Italian. It's from when I was living in Italy. I've written it down in the chat, but maybe when Ivy puts up the YouTube videos, she can include a link to that account. So that way you guys can direct message me, can follow along. If there's cheeses you want me to review, I can always do that. Or we could kind of do more cheese and wine notes through that forum as well. I'd be happy to do that, just to challenge myself and get through more of these cheese books and cheese magazines. I'm always happy to do that.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks to everybody. Thank you all. Thank you, Ivy. Anything else, Ivy, or we're good?
I think that's it.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. It's wonderful.
This has
Thank
been
you.
so wonderful. Wonderful break. Everybody stay safe.
Thank
you very
you.
much.
Thank you guys. This
Thank
has been
you.
wonderful. We really enjoyed.
Bye.